What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-day fiance video, and this one right here is all about the journey between Kobe and Emily throughout season 9, involving Emily's family as well as Kobe's friends. But hey, before we get into it, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, that is a member of Patreon, and that is a subscriber as we continue to grow. Now, with that being said, sit down, relax. I mean, as I'm filming this, I have no idea how long this video is going to be, but I can still say to you, sit down, relax, get a cup of tea, get some food, park up to the side if you're driving, and enjoy the freaking show. But hey, let's get it.
I did tell Kobe that I wasn't going to bring Coben to the airport, but I did not tell him that I had plans for us to stay the night at the hotel. I feel really bad and selfish because he hasn't been around Coben before, but at the same time, Kobe and I need that one night together before I bring him home to meet everybody. He's about to land in 15 minutes. I'm super nervous right now. It's been 2 years. I'm freaking out. In the next 90 days, Kobe and I have to figure out if our chemistry is still there. I have to introduce him to our son, Coben, and work on our relationship as parents. It's a lot. What if my family doesn't like him, he doesn't like them, and he doesn't like America?
The famous introduction of Emily, choosing her own sexual needs over the fact that Kobe was there to see his son. Now, of course, now we've seen the tell. Oh, we definitely know why she made these actions. But either way, though, the fact that she didn't even pre-warn Kobe, so freaking selfish. And this was already the first identification that Emily was always about Emily. Despite the fact that what she says at the tell, oh, it doesn't change the fact that Emily was always about Emily. And that's why she obviously wanted to do it this way. Because I'm pretty sure she could have done it a different way. You know what I mean? But hey, I mean, look at it this way. She made him believe that Coben was going to be there. The fact that Coben wasn't there after she made him believe he's going to be there is already suspect anyway. But let's continue.
Still a little nervous that I haven't told him the plan. Like, we're not going to go straight to see Coben. It's important for me to take him and have him one night to myself, because once we get home, we're probably not going to have sex for a while because we have a child now, with my parents. But I just don't know how he's going to feel about it. You're in America. Are you freaking out, honey?
Baby.
What?
Man, I can't believe like this is happening.
I know. I cannot believe it's been 2 years.
I get the whole year in case here.
I know. So funny. And it was supposed to be a one-night stand. Look at us now.
Look at us, baby.
Look at us now, babe. We have like 90 days to get married. This is so crazy. Coben's amazing, babe. I know you know that, but
I know. Pretty sure we're gonna get along, like, you know.
Oh my
we're
gosh.
gonna play so much.
Now that I'm in America, I'm finally going to meet my son, Coben, which is something I've been looking forward for over like 2 years. The only thing I know that Emily always tells me is that he's so wild, and I want to see how wild it is, like, to be able to judge by myself. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to meet him.
So I know you really want to go see Coben, but I just think, like, I haven't seen you in like 2 years. That means we haven't had sex in 2 years. So I was thinking, well, I got you something that I think maybe you'll like. I don't know. So, look at my purse really quick. I'm about you a little something, babe. What do you think?
This is hard, so I can't wait to see this on you.
Ooh.
I am honestly excited about the lingerie thing because it's been long. It's our thing. I used to wear like back in China. Like I had one, like sometimes I could wear and then I could dance for her and stuff like that.
I think we need this for ourselves, you know, to like recreate our love life.
Our relationship in China was really physical. And I've changed, she's changed. So I just hope that what we experienced in China is just going to continue.
I was thinking maybe we could just like have one night together, you know, because I want you to see Coben, obviously. I don't want to take away from that, but would you be okay if maybe we had a date night and stay the night somewhere?
I thought we were gonna meet here today.
I know, but don't you want to have like one date night with me, babe?
You know, I want to meet Coben so badly. Wait.
Yeah.
How is this possible? I felt like I was being selfish. I want to see my son. Please, give me a chance. Like, let me see my son as well. I've never met him before.
It's hard, babe. Like, you know.
No, and I want you to like meet him too, but I like want you. You know what I mean?
I want to. At the same time, I want to meet Coben.
I know, and I'm not trying to take away that moment of you and Coben. I was just thinking like it's, you know, our only opportunity. I totally get that Kobe really wants to meet Coben, and it is a big priority to finally meet your son, but our relationship should be a priority too, to make sure that the chemistry is still there, to make sure that we're able to make it the full 90 days and get married and be the best parents we can be to our son. So if he's not going to make this a priority now, then when will he make it a priority?
I remember this scene as if it was yesterday. And to be honest with you, it still doesn't really get any better each and every time. Despite the explanation behind it, it just doesn't make it any easier. Because at the end of the day, man has flew, God knows how many hours to see his son for the very first time. Meanwhile, we got people like Sherloin on Love in Paradise who doesn't even give a two freaking monkeys about his kid. Doesn't even send any money, doesn't want to put any effort in, not to the slightest. Meanwhile, we got, this is nice. Meanwhile, we've got Sherloin from the Caribbean. Yes, Caribbean. You know what I mean? Being a terrible guy, being a terrible father. Meanwhile, we've got Kobe all the way from Africa. Represent us, brother. Represent. Want to be supportive to his child. You know what I mean? And yet he's got a woman that is telling him no. We got to get us first. I mean, listen, for some men, that is a dream. Men like Sherloin who love sex, that would have been a dream for him, to be honest with you. But for some men, well, they want to see their kid first. Even if it means getting there and your kid is falling asleep. Even if you get there and your kid is asleep already. Why not? Makes all the perfect sense. And for Emily to worry about when are we going to have it, like, why is that a big deal? I'm sure you're going to be able to have it. I mean, listen, we know that they are still currently living in Emily's parents' house. And we know that they was able to have sex in Emily's... Holy moly! Do you know what I just realized? Emily must have got pregnant on the first night of the... this is when she must have got pregnant. This makes... I mean, obviously we know they continued having sex, even in Emily's parents' house, which is contradictory to what she's saying because she was upset when Kobe wanted to share the bed with Coben and her. And she didn't want Coben to be in the bed because she wanted to sleep with Kobe at her parents' house. Which means having sex was always going to be an easy thing for them to have at the parents' house. Hence the reason why she got pregnant again. But then there's the potential that this may have been when she actually got pregnant though. So before the dads even put the rule in there, maybe this was it. Damn. But either way though, contradicts what Emily said on the tail, to be honest with you, because they were able to have sex. And it contradicts what she says here as well about not knowing when it was going to happen. Well, it did happen. That's how you got pregnant again. Tell me otherwise. But anyway, we continue.
You can give him hugs. You don't have to be...
Oh, thanks
Do
so
you
much.
see that
Thanks so
guy?
much. Yeah, well,
Coben's our
I'll
daddy.
figure it out, so thanks so much. Yeah.
Look.
Oh my
Joy. You can give him a hug together. It's so cute. Who's that guy? Look, he's looking at you.
Oh my god.
Who is that?
So cute.
He looks just like you. Huh?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
You need a second? Who is that?
Getting to meet Coben for the first time. I couldn't take it. Like, he was just so sweet. Like, I'm attached to them because of him. Like, it was just a very beautiful moment. Oh my god. He's so cute. Like, seriously. It looks like his dad.
I told you that. He's so cute. He's like a crying.
Like, I'm finally here and I get to see him. I get to meet him. Like,
I know.
oh
Give him a high
gosh.
five. Oh, there's a lot, huh? What do you think I do now? No? Oh, it's okay. Oh, that's okay. I think he's tired.
It's okay. He wants to breastfeed. It's
I know.
cool.
That's all he wants.
He's just a baby, so he tried to shy away from me. But, you know, I need to do so much to catch up for all the times that I've not been around. For him to feel like, you know, I'm his daddy.
Hey, Toby.
Hey, Meg.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So glad you're finally here.
Yeah, I'm finally here. I don't know. I'm sorry about...
Oh my gosh, please apologize. Oh, goodness.
Have a seat. Have a seat. When Kobe was crying, that was really touching. I want to just kind of make him feel welcome. But, you know, I just don't know the guy at all. So I'm going to be very observant as to, you know, what his behavior is towards us and towards my daughter and, of course, my grandson. So I'm very nervous to see how it's all going to play out.
So, how's Coben been? He's been good.
I hope you got plenty of sleep because we're tagging out. You're tagging out.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. Look at him, Tyler. Oh, wait, he's about to go to sleep. Look what time he's in bed. Here, and I know he wants so badly to have that relationship with Coben like I do, but eventually it's going to happen. Sorry.
You know, this is going to be the only part of this video where there's actually a positive outlet on their relationship. Kobe finally meeting Coben for the very first time. Honestly, what a heartwarming moment. Sadly, it's going to be the only one of the episode. But anyway, let's get into the rest.
I've had 17 months to figure out being a parent, and I just feel like I have it down. You know, I've been doing it by myself. It's just been, COVID and I. Right.
It's time for the diaper.
Don't tickle him while you do it, babe.
It's okay. I can handle this.
You don't even have the wipes ready.
Oh.
You have to have everything ready.
I understand. It's okay. It's my first time, and I'm doing it as well.
I like things a certain way. I'm a Virgo. I'm very, precise. I like to be my way or the highway. So it's hard to, allow Kobe to take over right now. Quick, you gotta go fast. Hey, that's the wrong way.
Okay.
I'm putting his cleaner down or else he'll be outside of the diaper. Oh.
She's never seen me handling kids. I know I'm very good with kids. I love kids. You believe I can do this, babe? So I think that she should trust me and get some confidence in me when it comes to our son.
All right, Daddy's gonna put you in the car. I'm showing Kobe around Celina, and I've grown up here. It's a small town. I know we won't have the social life like he's used to back in China and in Africa. But I hope Kobe can see himself and our family living here because we can't move right now. We can't afford it. It makes more sense to stay close to my parents where they can help out. Set him in. Yeah, watch his foot.
Babe, I think I should drive because I think I'm a better driver than you are.
Yeah, okay, you're not a better driver than me. You're not going to drive your first time in America with Kobe in the car.
But why? Because you guys have a very big and wide road that everybody can do whatever you want. But in my country, you need to be very careful. So I don't think, you telling me not to drive is like an insult. I don't know.
I don't really care how experienced you are in driving, but I don't feel comfortable you driving with Kobe in the car.
My own car?
And
Your son?
Yeah, in my car, not your car. It's my car. So are you going to get in the car or not?
Even if I have to get in the car.
I'll go by myself.
Even if I have to go in the car, but I'm not pleased. Just so you know that.
I don't care.
First ever dispute between Kobe and Emily. The car situation. But before we even get into the car situation, before that, Kobe's trying to build a relationship with his son, and Emily just wants to keep intervening. No, that's not how you do it. No, you haven't even got that ready yet. No. This is how it should be done. Excuse me, I'm the one with the experience, okay? I've been a single mom, okay? I've been a single mom for 17 months, and I've been figuring out how to do things with Kobe. And I know exactly how to do things with Kobe, okay? Listen to what I'm telling you. You don't even have the nappies out yet. Emily, shut the frick up. Let the man, you had 17 months to learn. He's literally had not even a full day yet. Let him wing it. Let him just see how he gets on. If there's any big mishaps, then of course say, hey, boom, let me do this. Intervening every single second? There's no need for that, is it now? And if I'm offending anyone right now that is a little bit lamentable, then you come to the wrong channel. Okay? Oh dear. And then obviously we get into the car situation. Excuse me. You are not driving my car with my son in the car. Excuse me, hold a minute, but it's both your sons. You wouldn't have the son without Kobe, right? Kobe wouldn't have the son without you neither. So obviously come both in hand. Now, of course, I get it. You're in the USA. Maybe they drive on the opposite side to Cameron. I'm not too sure. But at the end of the day, he's confident he's going to drive. And of course, he's got his son in the car. We've seen how emotional he was when he saw his son. So you think he's really going to drive recklessly knowing that his son's in the car? Absolutely not. The way she wasn't even thinking about that is so naive. And the fact that she was trying to control how he should parent was so naive, and ignoring the fact of how much love he has for his son and how eager he is to actually get to know his son. So I don't know why she thinks that he would ever put their son in freaking danger. But hey, this is how Emily be behaving. Yes. Oh dear Lord. But hey, let's continue.
Love you.
Love you.
I want to show you downtown. That's our coffee shop.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a jewelry store. Do you want to, And then we have cute little, boutiques downtown.
I don't know, you guys have clubs over here?
We don't have, a club in Celina, you know what I mean? We just have, bars.
Is this really America? Before coming to America, most people, they want to see this beautiful view. Places like New York, Miami. I feel like, I'm in one of the most powerful countries, and I'm not seeing any of those.
I'm going to show you, a dream house of mine. I want a big house. Look how big they are.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So pretty.
I just can't wait for us to get a place,
I know. God, last night, in my head, I was like, we're all going to sleep as a family, but that clearly didn't go as planned. But it's hard because with you in the bed, Copen won't go to bed.
What do you imply? I can't put my son in bed?
When he's off the boob and he can just lay down and go to bed. Copen doesn't just lay down and go to bed.
Ask you a question. How many more months or days or years do I need to go before I can put it to bed?
I don't know.
What do you think? You don't know?
How long is Copen going to nurse?
That's harsh, That's you don't even consider my feelings.
Oh my God.
I wonder if I'm really at the right place sometimes. You understand? I'm saying this because you feel like sometimes you're too smart, you know everything, and it's not good for our relationships, okay? All right?
Mm-hmm. Besides knowing that Kobe and I still have chemistry, the most important thing to me is knowing that we're able to get along. In China, Kobe and I definitely were on the same page. We didn't really fight a lot. And now that he's in America and we have a child, there's a lot more bickering. There's a lot more arguing. It's been so exhausting. So, I don't know, maybe Kobe and I are both just fooling ourselves trying to make this relationship work.
I know you're smart, but you're not as smart as you think.
Okay, Kobe.
I don't think it was ever the matter of fooling yourselves. No. It was a matter of compromising. It was a matter of allowing him to bond with his child, allowing him to recognize the location he's in, and also allowing him to build a relationship with your parents as well. Because at the end of the day, Emily, you've already got a relationship with your parents, you've already got a relationship with Coben, and you already know your city or your town, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, Kobe's someone that doesn't know none of these things. All he was trying to do was be as enthusiastic as possible to get to know your parents, to get to know his kids, and to get to know the area. And also to get a chance to even drive in the area too. But every step of the way, you're blocking him. And not only do you block him every step of the way, you're then out here talking about, oh, I would love that house over there. Oh, what? Well, the stay-at-home mum wants the big mansion for the man that's only just moved to America, who at this moment in time didn't even have a job. He now has a job. Now, whether or not that job is going to pay for a big mansion, I have no idea. But also at the same time talking about wedding rings. It's crazy though, because in this scene, she mentions about the rock because the one that he had bought her was a fake one, or she just didn't like it. But then later on, she goes and buys herself one anyway. One of the most ultimate disrespects of all time I've ever seen on national TV. But hey, let's continue. Well, international TV to be fair. Yeah.
Kobe and I just got back from touring Celina, and he's so upset with me. I don't know if it's about last night that I didn't let him sleep in bed with us. I don't know what's going on with him. Luckily, I'm going to be gone all day nannying, so hopefully we can both take a step back so we don't continue arguing. Oh my God, it's good.
Oh. He's a big boy.
He's tired.
He's so tired.
I know, but I'm not going to leave until he feels until he's fine. Because I don't want his first time being with you and he's all upset about it.
Oh. I feel bad because I know Emily feels like I won't be able to do this, but I need to prove myself to Emily that I can be a good dad to my son. So she has to trust me.
All right. I'm going to give him to you. I don't think he's going to be very happy, but...
It's okay. You want to brush him?
You want to take him and see?
Come here, buddy.
You can put the bottle down.
It's okay. I see.
You know, baby.
It's okay.
Oh, no. He's so tired. He probably needs a new diaper.
Oh, it's okay. Oh.
It's hard for me to just give away that parenting, card and just allow Kobe or anyone to watch him. I'm his mom and I want to be here all the time, but realistically it can't happen. I have to go to work. But it is hard to leave him.
It's hard to allow the father of your child to be a father because you are the mother. I know women have this thing about, I carried the child for 9 months, blah, 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 blah. And I completely respect it. I really do. But he's been 17 months away from a child that he's never seen before. I'm pretty sure he's allowed a little bit of leeway of actually being able to, be a father without you intervening all the freaking time. You know what though? The crazy thing is, well, let's just see what happens next.
It's gonna be fine. Oh. Look at this.
It's painful for me to sit back and listen to Cope and cry when I know I can stop it. But he's got to learn and they have to develop that relationship. Most people have already had 17 months to figure this out and now he's having to play catch up on everything.
Oh my God, look at this. I think we should learn something like colors in French.
I'm not ready to leave Kobe alone with Coben yet. I don't think Kobe has a lot of experience with younger children. I think more of his experience is with school-age children, and that's a big leap.
All right.
When the mom comes in and says pretty much what Emmy just said. Don't we want to leave you with your son? Nah. Don't really want to give you a chance to, make things work with your son by yourself, even though that's what you want to do. Nah. The blocking by Emily, the blocking by the mother. Honestly, the similarity between Emily and her mother, I think those are things that we're going to notice some more and more as the show goes on, to be honest with you, because I feel like that's something that we definitely didn't identify, the similarity between Emily and her mother. But hey, let's continue.
Hello.
I got a ball right there.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, babe.
What are you doing? Hi, Pumpkin.
Oh my God. Watch him try something for
Hi,
camera.
Spaceman. What? What is that?
Groundnuts.
Ground nuts?
Like peanut butter before you grind them. This is what you grind to have peanut butter.
Babe, we can't eat that.
Why?
Because it's a choking hazard. Look how little they are.
Come on, baby. We hit
He's
this
never
in
even had
camera
peanut
like
butter.
we are babies.
How do you know he's not allergic or has an allergy? Here's the thing. I've been in Coben's life since the day he was conceived. I pushed him out of me. I know exactly how I want to raise him. Kobe needs to respect that, follow it. And once he proves to me that he can, I'll let him chime in a little bit more. Please don't give those to him when I'm not here.
She's just trying. I don't think like.
Don't grind it up. You can't eat it just like that.
Out of it cannot kill my baby boy, man.
Look how small those are. Look.
Doing this is because I was just like, trying to make him taste something from Africa. It's not like I meant anything bad.
Kobe's trying to feed him peanuts.
Seriously.
The manner in which you tried to talk to me about this was crazy. I want a woman to be able to respect me and, bring up a home in a nice, loving manner. But I'm not seeing that right now.
It's interesting because I'll tell you this now. If we're talking about it on a hazard purposes, I can understand. But if we're talking about it on an allergy purposes, well then why wouldn't you tell Kobe as soon as he lands or as soon as he gets home, or at least before you leave him with, your son for the first time, you let him know that, hey, our son's got allergies. When she was just making things up on the spot. And also, who the hell was she to talk about how we're gonna raise him my way? I don't know if you guys have seen Emily on IG with Coben now, but he doesn't even listen to anything that she says. She'll post a video on IG, she'll be like, Coben. Man is giving 0 Fs, looking the opposite direction, ignoring anything that she says. So I really wonder if your way of parenting has really worked, but it seems to me as if your son doesn't even obey you anyway. Ah, dear. The direction of mayhem this was already going into. Bizarre as hell. But hey, and do you know what's so crazy? Emily has a tendency to not listen to no one. Coben seems to not want to listen to her. I wonder where Coben gets it from, hey? The woman who says that she wants to raise her son in a certain way. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that way. Man, imagine it. Oh, damn, they have got a baby girl. Oh, crikey, that child's going to be doomed. Yeah, I said it. Where Emily's going to raise their daughter. Oh. Well, she's about to breed another narcissist. Kind of peak saying about a kid, right? But here's the thing, sometimes you've got to reflect on their parents. If their parents behave one way, you can only expect the child to become that way too. Because hey, when the parent says I'm going to raise my child my way, it basically means I'm going to live vicariously through my child. But let's continue.
Goes in this bucket, and then when it's full, we dump it. Okay. I physically can't do it anymore, and you're stronger than me. You want to try it?
Of course.
All right, get in there. Scoop it up.
Keep calm, babe.
Well, come on.
Are you the supervisor or what?
Yeah, apparently.
Kobe and Emily, they've had a few little spats. I wonder sometimes how happy he is here. I don't know. I can't tell if he likes it here or not. But I appreciate Kobe working around. I think it's a good gesture. We don't get a lot of people here offering to help, so any help I get, I really appreciate.
Oh my goodness. He's like, gosh. Hey.
Here's the thing. Manure is just chewed up grass. It's not gross like dog poop.
Back home I've worked with, I work in the poultry. My father owned a poultry. It was really very stinky. But a horse, it's a very big animal. Like, all those dunks. Can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah.
Why don't you just start from the big pile?
Well, calm, honey. Just let me do what I'm doing, okay?
I haven't done this for years.
I don't think I need you around me when I'm doing this.
Okay, but I'm just trying to help you out. Why don't you put more on your shovel?
Oh my goodness. What difference does it make? Am I doing it or not?
But don't you want to get done faster so we can go hang out?
Keep calm. Let me do it my own way, alright?
Babe, just scoop it in there. Why are you pulling it down?
Are you serious? It's like you want us to fight about almost everything.
Okay, stop talking. Just do it.
He just wants to control everything.
So, since he's landed, he wanted to control his first action. First action was give me sex, and then you can see your child. Second action was this is how you're going to parent our child, not the way you want to. Third action is now I'm going to tell you how to do exactly what my mother just told you to do. Control is definitely the key word there. Definitely the key word. And to be honest, if it tells me that, and bear in mind, this is someone that is now a housewife, because that's what she always wanted to be, a stay-at-home mom, which is fine. But again, I repeat, it's funny how you can be a stay-at-home mom when you're living at your parents' house. That doesn't make any sense. Not to me anyway. But again, this is obviously their biggest problem in their relationship was Emily's control factor. Control this, control that. It was never, oh, Kobe, you know, I'll let you just figure it out yourself. I'll let you breathe and see if you can, you know, adjust yourself to the new location, new lifestyle, to your new home. It was do this, do that, do this, do that. And to make it worse, this was all done in front of who? Emily's parents. The madness.
I felt like, you know, she is just trying to make her family know that she is in control of me. But I'm losing my patience.
I'm not helping you anymore.
I don't even need your help.
You're being so rude.
You're being rude? Can you just shut the up? Oh,
I cannot believe you just said that to me.
I'm here because of you, and I'm here because of our son, and I have to do this because of you. It's like
You literally just told me to shut the f up.
being dropped into a test where I need to prove myself to your parents, and I don't need you here. I'm working.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna be here then. If you don't need me here, I'm gonna you.
I don't need you, all right?
It's up. Like, it's rude. I feel like I'm trying to help him, and he's like telling me to shut the f up. We only spent 2 months together before I got pregnant, so now I'm like, is this your temper? Like, if we get into it even bigger, are you gonna keep telling me to shut the f up? And in front of my mom.
The killer question, was Kobe wrong? Was he wrong to tell her to shut the F up? That is the killer question. I mean, listen, we can look at it in different angles. Did Emily push him too much? Was she being a nagging Nancy because she wouldn't stop moaning? She wouldn't stop trying to control him? Where he got to a stage where he finally snapped? So therefore it makes his actions okay? Or is it a matter of where Kobe should have been more vocal from the very get-go about Emily's controlling factor? Now, I'm not saying he didn't speak up to her sooner, but here's the thing though. One thing that I know is that there are women who will walk all over you because they can, in terms of they'll talk over you, they'll just do everything. But those women who like to walk all over you, it doesn't mean that they can't be controlled or tamed or put in their place. They can be, 100%. And would they find that offensive if you used to put them in their place in the correct way? More or less no, as long as they're not a narcissist or anything like that, then no. So really and truly, the fact is, Kobe failed to put Emily in her place from the very beginning. He hasn't been firm with her. If he had been firm with her, then he would never got to the stage where he then ended up basically having a whole hissy fit, where he lashed out to her in front of her mum. And the fact that he did it in front of her mum was definitely not the best move, let alone doing it in general. Emily's many things, but she's never necessarily called him names or swore him. So of course, him doing that was definitely, you know, going over the line. But again, this could have been prevented. So it's not a matter of, did she push him too much, in my opinion. It's a matter of if he was more firm at the very beginning. Because here's the thing, Kobe spent the whole season talking about, I'm the man of the house. In my culture, the man is the one that leads. But here's the thing, he expects her to be submissive to him automatically based on his culture. But here's the thing though, buddy, you are in America now. That's not how it works. So therefore, he needed to grow a backbone and be more firm from the very beginning. But for example, in the very beginning when he lands and she's like, oh, I want to have sex first before we can immediately have a kid. He should have been like, no. I traveled. And first, he should have been, no, listen. First of all, I waited 17 months to see my son. Then I traveled. God knows how many hours. I want to go and see my son. We can do that after. Simple with that. Or it could have been like, okay, we can have the fun time, but we're going to see my son straight after. There is no tomorrow, there is today. At least then he would have made it clear that he's not looking to roll over to her. Here's the thing though. He rolled over. And that would have been the beginning of her understanding that it's not going to be an easy one to free to control him. But let's continue.
I don't really want to be fighting with Emily, especially in front of her mom, but her attitude, you know, her demanding nature, she was never like this back in China, and I'm not happy about this.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to look like you know, somebody who's being so rude. Like, she was just talking about everything I'm doing. It just kept like, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like maybe it's an American thing, and then I don't know how I can really like handle this, like women talking to a man has a feeling and stuff like that.
Well, I wouldn't think of it as a woman to a man thing. I think person to person, maybe. I know Emily can be pushy and she can be bossy, but I mean, my husband would never have said that to me. Ever. I don't really like that he's talking with her that way. They're going to have to figure out how to get along as a couple. It was all fun and games in China, but it's different now. It's real life.
I am telling you right now, Emily gets her behavior from her mother. Her mother most definitely is the one that is in charge. The dad rolls over to the mother, and that is where Emily gets it from. You can tell me otherwise, but that is my observation. Because you have to wonder, where did she get it from? Is it due to the fact that her parents have always let her get away with murder? Or is it due to the fact that she has been led, that she has seen someone else? Because remember, when people have children, the child is always going to turn up like either the mother or the father. Or they're always going to have traits from both sides, but they're going to have certain traits that are going to dominate more than the other. We ask about the sister being well behaved. Well, maybe the sister's traits, the personality is dominated by the father's personality. And Emily's personality is dominated by the mother's personality. If you ask me, the mother, because I mean, what the hell does she do? What does the mother do? All we know is that daddy's been paying since day one. He's the one who was talking about the finances. The mother never talks about the finances as if she's going to pay for anything. Not like she would or expected to, but I think she's been a stay-at-home mommy since her girls were born, to be honest with you. And that's where Emily probably gets the influence from. Because also the mother is unable to even identify what I identified, and that is that the situation could have been prevented. Which I guess maybe she wouldn't have been able to, because she wouldn't have seen things the way we've seen it, because we've seen things even when the parents haven't been there. So therefore, I can let it be. But if she sees her daughter acting like her, then surely you'd want to say, hey, the way you're acting is actually not good. Maybe the mom is just as bad as Emily, if not worse. I mean, listen, she's a family girl, which means she would have picked up that behavior from somewhere that is at home. Tell me otherwise. Of course, if you're still here, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Come on now.
Hey, babe. Hey, babe, but you told me to shut the up in front of my mom. Like, that's so rude. Do they do that in Africa?
Excuse me, like, you know, I'm doing something, I'm working, and then you're just there talking and talking and talking. How do you expect me to feel, or how do you think that makes me feel?
Because I was talking to you? That's how
Does
that made
any
you.
sense?
You're not even listening to yourself. You're like, you were just there talking and talking. Like, yeah, I was talking to you. I wasn't, like, being rude.
How many times
You were
did I-
being rude. I'm confused because I've never seen Kobe react that way. To say what he said in a moment of frustration is one thing. But what really concerns me is that he still thinks it's okay. He needs to be a respectful husband, show our son that this is how you treat women.
You were just trying to be bossy, control everything, and I kept saying this.
I'm trying to help you, but
Help
you're
me
taking
over what? That was just
I'm
literally
not going
the
to talk to you if you're
things.
going to keep being rude to me. Either we're going to figure this out or this is not going to work. Okay? You don't see the big picture that what you said to me was wrong.
I'm sorry for saying that.
You're sorry for saying what?
Saying shut
Sorry for being talkative to you while you were working.
and please don't repeat that again.
Okay.
The question is, does Emily have a point? That his reaction was unacceptable. Despite the fact that she was being a nagging human being, doesn't give him the right to swear. Well, here's the thing. In her explanation of trying to get him to understand her point of view, what does she then go and do? She goes and swears too. Which therefore kind of like levels at the playing field. I mean, listen, if we're kids and she swears too, well then the playing field is now fair. Because you now swore too in retaliation to me. I swore in retaliation to you. Now because we're dealing with two kids in this situation, or at least Emily's definitely the child in this situation, let's look at it as if they were kids. So Emily, do you think it's okay for you to also swear too? Do you think that two wrongs is going to make a right? I mean, Emily, you know why he swore. He swore because you pushed him too far and he was frustrated. You are now frustrated, telling him off for swearing at you when he was frustrated. But then now you're swearing out of frustration. But then again though, the difference between Emily and Kobe in the situation is that Kobe actually swore directly towards Emily. Emily on the other hand didn't actually swear directly towards Kobe. She's more like, freaking hell, like, come on. So therefore, it does make sense why obviously she was in that position. And the saddest part about the scene is that, I hate to say it, but Emily had a lot of strength in that scene. But again, though, this is another scene to identify why these two, how they've been able to survive, I have no idea. Actually, no, I do have an idea. How they've been unable to survive is something that shouldn't really be happening, because the fact is they only now survive because Emily ended up getting her way. She's now been able to become a stay-at-home mom at her parents' house. That would never make sense to me, being a stay-at-home at your parents' house. And she's managed to obviously get him to be the one that's working, her doing bloody God knows what. I do wonder though, to be honest with you. She's a stay-at-home mom at her parents' house, but how much cleaning up does she actually do when her parents are already there? I'm sure the mom already does that anyway. I'm pretty sure Emily is one of those people that she stays at home with the kids, whilst her mother does all the cleaning and tidying. And she just sits there saying, hey, mom, do this, mom, do that. Oh, but mom, I can't do it because I've got COVID right now. Or I've got this and that right now. And this is the problem when it comes to Emily. Anything that she says, even if it has an ounce of truth behind it, or an ounce of anything that is kind of like, yeah, it has truth behind it, she's always doing something else that's contradictory towards it. So really and truly, was Colby right in this situation to swear at her? That goes back to my first point. If he had been firm with her at the very beginning, then this wouldn't have happened. But because this has allowed it to happen, does that mean then he's in the right to react the way he react? Well, I'll leave that down to you guys. But let's continue.
And it's crazy to think that we only have 2 months left.
Lila's not very happy about being groomed.
Oh, Lila. Kobe and I have talked a little bit about planning our wedding and financially how we're going to handle it. I want to ask my parents for money for the wedding, but I definitely think it hurts his pride a little bit for me to do that.
Go on.
Yeah, it's still like so crazy that Kobe's here.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have so much to do. Like we were talking earlier about like how we haven't started planning the wedding.
Yeah.
I think I'm just like worried about money. So, like, would you guys help with that?
Currently, Lisa and I are paying for just about everything for Emily. So it's not surprising that Emily would ask us to pay for the wedding. But right now, we don't know him that well. So he's got to prove to me that he can provide for his family. Okay, well, first of all, I still don't think you should get married just for the sake of getting married. I mean, just...
I'm not. I don't know why that's in your head, that I'm getting married just to get married.
Well, you seem to be worried about a time frame. That's what...
Because we are on a time frame. If I had, like, 90 days isn't a lot of time, but that's what we have. So all I'm saying...
all we're saying is you do have a choice. I mean, we like Kobe. He's a nice guy, but I've only known him 30 days. Your relationship is your business, but I heard kind of a worrisome interchange between the two of you the other day. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, we were in the bar, and he was, cleaning out the stalls, and told
he got
me...
mad because I was telling him what to do. And
I mean, it's a little,
That's inappropriate. That's total disrespect. I mean, oh, man.
People argue, so I'm not really that...
People argue, but...
You cannot let him speak to you that way.
It was handled. It doesn't need to be brought up again. It's fine, and it was handled.
I think, the beginning of a relationship, that should be like, rainbows and unicorns. And so if it's not in the first few weeks, they certainly need to realize they're not going to get married and everything's going to be fine, which I feel like is the attitude Emily has. I mean, we're going to support you in whatever you decide, and we're here for you.
We have legitimate concerns.
I mean, we're trying to help you.
No, I know you're trying to help, which is why I'm coming to you for help with money, but everything else, I have it handled. I know I have it handled.
God.
I think the hardest part about living at my parents' house is sometimes, my parents will be involved a little too much. I know Kobe and I definitely still have, a lot of problems to work out, and, it's hard enough on our own. So we really don't need a third party in our relationship trying to help us figure it out.
Do you know what's so funny about this scene, watching it back? Emily talks about how we don't need a third party getting involved. Do you think Kobe needs a third party in his ear every single second of the day when he's trying to get to know his son? Every second time of the day when he's trying to help your mother with the farm? Every second of the day when he's just trying to breathe the fresh air in America because it's new to him? Do you think he needs that that voice, that nagging? Cody. Does he need that? Does Kobe need that? Because at the end of the day, that's how he feels right now. The judgment that you're getting from your parents, is the judgment that he's feeling at every single step of the way. Did you ever think about that, Emily? Probably not. And this is the problem. But like I said before, where does Emily get this behavior from? It can only be from one of the parents. And again, I'm going with the mother. At the end of the day, she's the one that came in and instigated those situations when she didn't need to. Emily's the kind of person that will come and instigate those situations when you don't need to. Why? Because they just have that tendency. It's a bloody annoying one. Because really and truly, the mother should be sitting and thinking to herself, I don't really have to voice that. Shouldn't I ever just allow them to just resolve their situation and continue? Shouldn't Emily just allow Colby to resolve situations and just continue? See how the mother and Emily is exactly the same? We have those mass similarities. And neither one of them really are willing to hold themselves accountable for what Emily's behavior and also the mom's behavior. I tell you what, they both got their men under control. Think about that. But let's continue.
I mean, as far as the wedding thing goes, if you're dead set on it, fine. We'll help with it. But are you going to keep coming back every couple of months and asking for other things? I mean, sooner or later, you're going to have to just say, we're on our own.
Well, hopefully when he gets his green card and can work.
What kind of work is he going to do? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think you should focus on things like that. I mean, that's just crazy. I do worry about, of course, if she's making the right choice, marrying Kobe. But my biggest concern right now for her and for Coben is she talks the talk and she wants to move out and she wants to do this, but she doesn't have a clue as to how to get from point A to point B, or she doesn't have a clue.
I mean, you don't really understand what it's like to live in the real world. I know you think you do, but you don't know what it's like to have a house payment and pay utilities and pay for kids and buy food and budget your money every month, and you've never done that.
Okay, well, I'm sure I can figure it out like everything else. So.
Yeah, I just don't see any evidence of that.
Now, this scene is very key because in that little part, where does the family then put the pressure on? They're telling Emily this, but God knows how long they've been telling Emily that. But because obviously they know Emily's never going to change her ways, which is evident because she still got what she wanted, and that was becoming a stay-at-home mum at her parents' house because she wanted a partner that was going to work and do everything for her. And at the end of the day, was she ever going to figure anything out? I mean, it is still up for question if she's been able to figure it out to this day. Wait, hold on a minute. She hasn't. Do you don't know how? It was the other day on IG. She was on IG talking about how she wanted to buy a new car, a new mom's car, family car. But the car she wanted cost about $100K. So, of course, she had to obviously dumb it down and get a car that's a little bit cheaper. But the car that's a little bit cheaper, though, still needed to have a sunroof, needed to have this, needed to have that. And I'm thinking, raw, to get the car that you want, you're probably still going to be around $100K. The most bizarre thing is the money won't be coming out of her account. The money will be coming out of Kobe's account. Remember, she's a stay-at-home mom at her parents' house. So the point I'm trying to make is that the fact that they're still living at their parents' house means that Emily has not been able to experience the real world yet. And therefore hasn't really been able to budget just yet. Whether or not she'll figure it out, well then that is up for question. At the end of the day, who's to blame for the situation? We couldn't look at the parents. But the reason why this situation is so key is because you see, even though their voice is Emily, what happens next? The family then decide to turn on who? Well, let's get into it.
Tonight, Emily and her mom took Coben to visit her grandma, so it's just me and her dad here in the house. When he says he wants to talk about something, Emily's dad is a big guy and he's a little intimidating, and I feel like we get along okay, but it's not like we've had so much time to spend together, so I'm a little nervous why he wants to talk to me.
All right. Well, listen, I'm just getting to know you, and so far we've kept it pretty light, but I do have some serious concerns. Ever since Kobe got here, there's been some confrontations with Emily, and it seems like some of them got a little heated, and it's a little disturbing. I mean, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but thinking about the future, they got to have a plan what the hell they're going to be doing. I mean, otherwise, they're going to be floating around in this la-la, fantasy world, and I'm not paying for it, period. So, Kobe, I mean, I'm supporting a lot of people here, and we're not charging rent or anything like that. So, in order for things to happen, you have to have a vision, a career goal, how much money you plan on making. What is your plan?
As far as plans are concerned, Emily was like, maybe you could go back to modeling. I don't know if it's very possible to have that in Celina.
because I understand that Celina is not very big. But she told me like, you are an architect and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, then that's great. Because these are things that I've done in the past in civil engineering. It's all about planning, designing things, how beautiful you might want them to live. And since we have a whole, you could maybe train me like, to take over the company, to keep the family name burning.
Okay, you mentioned civil engineering, and I'm not sure exactly in Cameroon. Did you get a license there? What did you get a degree?
I had like high school.
Okay, but did you have any training after that?
No, I didn't have any.
Well, he's crazy if he thinks he's going to come in and take over my business, but that's not going to happen. It's just like he's out of his mind. Okay, so if you want to become an architect, that's probably a 4 or 5 year program. And once you get out of there, it's another 2, 3, maybe 4 years of training before you become licensed. And you're going to have to figure out a way to pay for that.
Yeah.
So,
like, I don't have any problem like going back to school. And Emily, I didn't ever disclose like the amount of money I brought to her, but at least I came along with about $4,000 and stuff like that. So, like, basically, like, take us for a while, maybe.
Well, $4,000 to live here, it's not a lot. I mean, it's not. It may be, in some places, but it's a lot of money here. I mean, that might last you a couple of months,
Okay. With $4,000 back home in Cameroon, you can rent an apartment on your own. That can take you for like almost a year and feed your family. And I was thinking that this money can fulfill the promises that I made to Emily. But now, I don't know.
Let's have a plan. Maybe you'll be out of here before the 90-day, deadline. Let's hope so. But I think you need to sit down with Emily and really talk about a budget. How are you going to budget for COVID? How are you going to budget for food? How much money are you going to budget for rent? Emily has no clue as to how this all works. So it's not party in the USA. It's work. And I hope you're ready for it.
Looking back at this scene, I'm now under the impression, and understanding that maybe, just maybe, the father's intentions of this whole meeting was more to basically warn Kobe that you will become the only earner in your family. And it's important that you learn everything possible now whilst you can. But also at the same time, it's important that you get yourself in the line of work that's actually going to afford the family that you're going to look after. Because I'm doing it, I've been doing it, and trust me when I tell you, it's not easy. So at the end of the day, what is the plan? Now, of course, it was definitely never Emily's father's intention to tell Kobe what type of job he should do, how much money he should be looking to earn. But just being realistic with him and saying, listen, there's going to be a lot of bills to be paid. And without saying it, but saying it, you're going to be doing it all by yourself. Because I know my daughter, and I know that she's going to want to be a stay-at-home mommy. Where? In our house. I'm sorry, but I can't go over the fact that Emily said that she's a stay-at-home mom and until all, given the fact that she's still living where? At her parents' house. It just boggles my brain. It doesn't make any sense to me. Ah, dear Lord. Because we know that she's not doing anything at home. Apart from being a mother, we know her mom's doing everything else, more or less. Why do you think Emily's been at home for such a long time? And also the fact that she's still at home tells me that however much money that Kobe's earning isn't necessarily enough for Emily, Kobe, Coben, and their new child to move out. It's probably not. Very unlikely, because that's 4 mouths to feed, including himself. 2 adults, 2 kids, and you got a baby. Oh boy, babies must eat like there's no tomorrow. To be fair, kids eat like there's no tomorrow. So there is also that challenge as well. So maybe the father here wasn't trying to be judgmental. He wasn't trying to, do certain things. Maybe he was just trying to be realistic with Kobe and say, listen, you need to really figure out how things are going to work, because I'm telling you right now, my daughter does not know how much it is going to cost. I'm trying to help you right now to know that you got to start planning now, not later. You tell me. Ask me. But you tell me. Yeah, ask me. Don't ask me. Yeah. Anyway, we continue.
How's everything going with Kobe?
I know I want to marry him. I don't know if he still wants to marry me, but I guess if he gets a ring, we'll find out the truth, right?
You have a ring.
Oh. He gave me a ring in China, and it was like one he bought off the streets. But I feel like if we're getting married, I would like a nice ring.
I mean, honestly, Emily, marriage is not about the ring. It's about the relationship and the life you're building together.
It's not just about the ring, but I just want a ring.
You are. You talk about the ring more than anyone.
Because I'm hinting to him to go look at rings.
Hinting.
I'm telling him.
I don't feel like I'm high maintenance. I think I just like things. I like what I like, and I don't want anything less than that.
Did you shake it? Woo! Right. Pour it up. Pour it up. Thank you. In the coat.
And then what do you
In
do
the
for
belt.
earrings?
I don't know. Depends what my ring looks like that he picks out. Actually, maybe this will help. Go into my purse really quick. There's a box in there.
What?
Just in case. Can I trade you?
Absolutely.
I had to buy a ring.
You did not.
I did.
I have to wear a ring forever, so I want it to be something that I love. It's not that I don't have faith in Kobe, but I also don't want to put that much pressure on him. So in my eyes, okay, if you can't afford it and can't go in, then I'll buy myself one. Oh, it's so pretty.
Thank you. It's 1 carat.
I bought it with my own money. It's really pretty.
But I'm like, just in case he can't afford one.
What if he goes out and buys one?
Well, I don't know. Oh, it's so pretty. I love this ring.
It is pretty. Oh my gosh, Emily.
You don't think it's pretty?
No, I think it's beautiful. I just can't believe you went out and bought a ring.
But it's for a backup.
It's a backup, like you said.
She gets it.
Yes.
Thank you.
So what if he finds one and he buys it and you don't like it as much as this ring?
I think I'm just going to have to suck it up and take the ring he gives me.
Okay. Wow. I cannot believe she bought a ring. They're obviously on a tight budget right now, and so it doesn't make any sense to me.
All right, well, hopefully he finds one that I love more. But it is beautiful. I love it.
I think it's
The classic scene. The classic scene of disrespect. I don't know what is the ultimate disrespect, to be honest with you, because there's so much disrespect throughout the whole season from just every couple. And there's so much disrespect in so many other TV shows that we cover on this channel, you know what I mean? And also cover on Patreon. But if we're talking about marital disrespect, this has got to be up there with one of the most disrespectful marital disrespects of all time. Buying yourself a ring because you don't have confidence that your partner's going to buy you a ring. Buying yourself a ring when your finances aren't even in a good place. Because currently you are the only person that is earning money from your actual relationship, despite the fact that you're still living off your parents anyway. But yet you want to go and buy yourself a ring. Because you don't want to be patient enough. And also somewhat don't have belief that your man's going to be able to get you one as well. Big concern, big red flag. To be honest with you, I don't know why Kobe decided to... Sorry for the silence. Sirens, not silence. If only it was silence, right? But again, the fact that Kobe still followed through by getting married to Emily once finding out that she already bought herself a ring is bizarre to me. Emily has been someone that has got away with murder. Let's go back to the scene when he tells her to shut the F up. He did that out of frustration because she kept pushing him. And yet she continues to push the bar higher and higher and higher. With the amount of time she keeps pushing him. But she doesn't want to hold herself accountable for her own actions. How was she expecting him or anyone to react to this news? Can we make that make sense? This may not be the same thing, but what if Kobe was like, I've been trying to get you pregnant, but you're not getting pregnant, so I decided to get someone else pregnant instead. But it's okay though. But now you're pregnant, it's okay though. You see how that doesn't make sense? That's how much this doesn't make sense. Even though one is worse than the other, doesn't make any sense. Like I said before, Emily's father was only trying to warn Kobe without telling him directly that you got a whole load ahead of you. And love isn't going to be enough. You need more than love to get through this marriage with my daughter. Trust me when I tell you. Hence the reason why she got a track record. But let's continue.
A few days ago, I felt like I was on top of the world. I proposed to Emily, and I got her a very beautiful ring, but at the tail end, she ruined everything. Oh my goodness. It has been hard for me to believe that the woman I'm going to get married to had a backup ring. It's trust, you know. I trust her, but she has no trust on me. But that doesn't mean I don't love her. And I'm trying as much as I can to understand that Emily's stress level are so higher right now because of the wedding. So, what kind of errands are we going to run that you couldn't do it by yourself?
I feel like it's just a lot going on, and certain things, especially this one. I just want you to come with me.
Kobe and I have had a rough couple of days, and I've already returned the backup ring. You know, I did it immediately. I feel bad for even buying it. And now I don't want to add more stress to Kobe,
especially when we only have a few weeks left in our 90 days. But there's something that I need to address with him.
Is there something you're not telling me?
I'm just like late. Like my period is late. So I think we should go to the pharmacy and like take a pregnancy test.
Have you ever had a delay like in your period?
Yeah, like delayed a couple of days, not a couple of weeks.
Oh my God. No, you can't be pregnant.
Why can't I be pregnant?
After all the precautions and stuff like that.
Precautions, Kobe. You were the one who told me you didn't want me to take birth control.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not taking birth control can obviously lead to a birth. What did I say when I was like, babe, I'm gonna take my birth control? What did you say?
Refused. I gave you a reason why. I've seen women who were on birth control, and when they wanted to conceive, it was very...
How do you know that? They just told you that?
Oh my goodness.
Well, I just said pull out.
Yeah, I pulled out when we started, and then you told me you have this application on your phone. Like, I'm not working right now, you can me. I don't know how I'm going to be able to face your family if you're pregnant. I'm living in your father's house, and, you know, it's just too much.
First and foremost, I do apologize. I thought I had the clip for the scene where Emily tells Kobe that she had his backup ring, but obviously I don't have that scene. But good thing is we know about it anyway, so it's okay. But of course, now we know that obviously Kobe knows about that, and you know, instead of it, and he talks about trust. The fact is, she doesn't trust you at this point. And the biggest problem that I had with Kobe throughout the whole season was that each time he spoke about things that were factual or important or crucial, he never really acted upon them. He'd voice them, but then that's about it. Voicing something and acting on it is not the same thing. You know what I mean? You got to put that stuff into place some way, somehow. You got to figure it out. And if you're unable to do that, well, then maybe you need to bounce, or maybe you need to find, or maybe you need to change something around to prevent certain things, certain attitudes. So the matter of the fact is, that was the biggest issue that I had with Kobe personally. Saying things, but nonetheless, though, we're now in the situation where Emily is pregnant. And again, I also didn't have the clip for when Emily's father says, "Do not get my daughter pregnant again." But it is what it is. But here's the thing, though, she's pregnant again. This whole conversation about contraception. Is it fair for Kobe to put it onto Emily? Is it fair for Emily to put it on Kobe? Well, when it comes to these two, they're both at fault because both of them have already been through this experience of where Emily got pregnant already before. Why? Because she didn't use contraception. So the fact that Kobe didn't learn from that, Emily didn't learn, I should forget that. The fact that Kobe didn't learn from that is a problem. Emily would have known. She's a woman. She knows how the body works. You know? So really it's more on Kobe than it is on Emily. But here's the thing though. She's pregnant now anyway. Well, right now they're on the journey to find out if she's pregnant, of course, but we know that she ends up being pregnant, doesn't she now? So straight away, Kobe's already broken the trust from Emily's father. At this point, they can only hope for the best. But the saddest thing is that even if Kobe had thought about leaving her prior because of the way she was at the ring, I guess at this point, there was no really trying to leave her because he's going to want to try and make things work for the sake of that they're now going to have not one, but two kids. And it's kind of sad because I know a part of it, some people may feel as if maybe Emily got herself pregnant again to make sure that Kobe didn't leave because before that, she was getting a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious that maybe Kobe might leave her. Maybe, you know, getting pregnant was a part of the plan. But then again, though, that would contradict my first theory at the very beginning of the video where I said that maybe Emily got pregnant on the very first night of Kobe actually landing. There is that possibility. But obviously, the more I think about it, I mean, ladies, let me know. How many weeks in do you know until you're pregnant? I would imagine obviously, she said that she missed a period. So let's say she just come off a period at the time when Kobe arrived. It's been around about a month now. And this is that month mark where she was due. But then, I mean, potentially, she got pregnant on the first night. Obviously, that intercourse since then. But hey, does it really matter when she got pregnant? Not necessarily. But it would be a factor, though. She got pregnant at the very beginning because she wanted her needs to be fulfilled. And let's be real. If they haven't seen each other for 2 years, and they're hungry to see each other, hungry to be all over each other, it wouldn't surprise me if that would have been the hardest time to do the good old pull-out method. Because when you had it for a long time and that pom-pom is feeling good, trying to exit that pom-pom is a challenging one still. You just want to ejaculate all over it. At the same time, the woman also wants you to ejaculate all in her too. Because we all know, well, I don't know if you all know it, but I know many people should know it and do enjoy the concept of ejaculating both at the same time, because that is, I guess, amazing for the woman. It is for the man, but I'm sure it's more amazing for the woman. I don't know. Either way, though, if you ask me, I think it happened on the very first night. The only one that makes sense to me. It makes sense to me the most. But anyway, either way, though, the question is, was it a part of a plan by Emily? We'll never know. We shall never know. But let's continue.
Me to work and save all the money.
It's just too much right now. Can we talk about
Wait,
something else? Let's wait until we get to
Yeah,
the
it's too much
pharmacy.
for you, but it's even more for me. Like, you don't even understand. I love babies. Like, I want to have a lot of kids. It's just not the right time. I mean, we're not even married yet. We're still living in my parents' basement. Let's go. And on top of that, my dad only has one rule for us, and that's not to get pregnant.
One thing's for sure. You better not get pregnant.
Okay. It's fine. We're not going to have any more kids in this house. Here they are.
You fine?
Yeah. Should have got condoms. I'm gonna do it now because I really don't want to like bring these home and like risk someone finding them.
Oh, okay. It's hard enough trying to figure out our relationship together.
Do you guys have a bathroom? Right there. Thank you.
Ring. And I don't have the finance to be able to take care of my family. So if Emily is pregnant right now, I don't know how we're going to be able to handle this.
Both of them. 2 lines.
That means you're pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm seriously pregnant. That's like 2 tests that say positive.
So what are we going to do now?
No.
Being pregnant right now, it's not a good thing for us.
It's not the right timing. We're still figuring out our relationship, our parenting skills together. We're in my parents' house, and it's the one thing they told us not to do was have another kid in their house. So, yeah.
Can't believe this is really happening.
Obviously, we're not going to tell anybody. We're not telling my family.
How long do you think? Gosh.
I only have one thing to say about that scene, and that scene is going to be one of the most saddest scenes we could ever see on a show, because it's a scene when you find out you're pregnant, but you can't even be happy for it. It's crazy because announcing a pregnancy is meant to be one of the happiest moments of your life. And then the moment you give birth is then the happiest moment of your life. And then when you raise a child to become, you know, a warrior, a king, a queen, whatever, it's also meant to be one of the happiest moments of your life. But going into it like this, man, saddening, very sad. Imagine being a child born and your parents didn't even want you at the time. Oh, damn, that was me. An unplanned child. But hey, man, listen, at least I made something out of my life. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
Emily is such wife material, but she has this nasty attitude of hers, like she always want to control everything. Yeah. She feels like it should always be like she's always right.
Kobe, that's America, not how you understand.
Yeah.
Even where I live, Columbus, Ohio, I have been to so many families. Like, the men are living in the house as if they are the ladies.
No.
They have no say. That's madness. I came to the United States to develop the process, and I've been here for 1 year and some months. Being here, I've noticed that that's the way they work, that's their own culture. Kobe needs to step up and like start controlling like the man, not the other way around.
There's something bigger even than that. Something that is really like eating me up right now. Emily doesn't want me to tell anybody about the pregnancy, but temperature is somebody I trust, so I need to relieve myself from this load that I've been carrying. My brother, she's pregnant again.
Kobe! Yeah?
I don't even have money. I'm not working. Yeah. We are living in our father's house. So, it's just so much going on right now.
Those 2 kids, they live in a city like this, and you're the only one, the only African, you don't have anybody to like be there for you. It won't be easy. But in Columbus, you have so many people.
Yeah.
It's a good community, so many Africans. You can have so many.
She's so strong-headed, so I don't think she would move so far from her parents.
The moment you start giving her the rights to make decisions, just know you are signing your dead warrant. America will be the worst place to ever think of.
Good old temperature. The man that came in and really turned up the freaking temperature. Damn. You know, this scene here, and now I looking at it again for the second time. This scene actually exposes how weak some men are. It's funny because how can you sit there and blame the American woman? I could sit and blame the British woman. I could do that myself. But there's no point in doing that, because if a woman's going to walk all over you, then it just shows you how much... It's a reflection of who you are. I mean, look at it this way. Like I said before, if you are firm from the very beginning in the correct way, in the respectful way, a woman will understand who you are and how you function. But if you're expecting a woman to just play puppy, to roll over, do as you want, without you actually putting that into place, that shows that you are a weak person. That shows that you come from a community where women don't have a choice. In America, in the UK, and any other country out here where women have a choice, women have a voice, you better be prepared to either, well, become a puppy and roll over, or to step up and say, listen, let's just dumb it down a little bit. You know, I like the fact that you're independent. I like the fact that you got strength. I like the fact you like to do certain things, but understand this though. You ain't the boss of me. Unless you're my mother, you ain't the boss of me. So let's pipe it down. But again, this is just done accordingly. I mean, I'm the kind of person that from the very get-go, from the very, very first moment, I would tell you 100% was good. I'll tell you exactly what I tolerate, what I don't tolerate. You know what I mean? And also, you know, but also with the open mind of compromising. And also, it's all a matter of understanding. And to be honest with you, this exposes how much Kobe and his friend Temperature, or especially Temperature, don't really want to be understanding. They don't want to learn the way of the American woman. You know what I mean? They don't want to try and adjust and try and figure out how things can work in their favor. So therefore, they don't feel like as if they are that submissive. They don't feel as if like they don't have much power. You know what I mean? It's very important. The weak-minded just aren't built for certain things in life, right? But in the day, listen, we're talking about the baby now. He's now told Temperature about the baby. The only thing that really matters about him telling Temperature is the fact that he's broken the trust between himself and his woman. And the crazy thing is that Emily obviously has already broken their trust anyway with the whole ring situation. But here's the thing though, these two going back and forth with breaking trust, not healthy. It's not good. I do wonder right now in their relationship, do they even have trust? They may have presented themselves as if they do have trust recently on the tell, but do they really though? There is that question too. Now don't get me wrong, there are people in the world who fear being disliked. But boy, it doesn't mean you gotta roll over like a little baby. All I'm saying is, you can't keep complaining about how much control that you're almost taking in a relationship if you're not willing to step up and let her know that it's not just about her. You gotta let her know that it's about you too. How? Well, that comes from you learning your woman. It doesn't matter what advice I can tell you personally, because I'm not in your relationship. I haven't. How I would conduct myself with Emily isn't the same way I conduct myself with someone else. And that's the key part of learning the person you're with. Are you looking to learn the person you're with, Kobe? Are you learning to learn the person you're with, Temperature, Mr. Single Man? Clearly not. You're going in and expecting, just because you got a culture that says women must be submissive, you expect women everywhere to be submissive. That is not how life works around the world. That is how life works only within your own community. But guess what, buddy? You married outside your community. So adjust, shut the hell up. Or step up. Yeah, you never know. But let's get into it.
So you have fun last night, babe?
Yeah, I think last night was super fun. Me and Temperature.
Good, I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah.
I think it's important to know your fiance's friends. Like, maybe I get to see a different side of my husband that I don't know.
Somebody's here.
Oh, hey! Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
We're excited to meet Kobe's friend, Temperature.
Yeah, Baba.
I think Kobe seems happier to see a familiar face and, someone who gets him. High five?
Yeah.
Welcome to Celina, man. What's that?
Celina, Kansas. Oh my gosh, can you believe you're here?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, you're from the same area, region of Cameroon?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've been
cool.
here for 1 year almost.
And you like it?
Yeah, it's a place to be.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying Kansas is a place. US is a place to me, but next time I can come let you know how you know.
Oh, we don't have any of that. yeah.
Did we still need a few minutes?
I think we're ready. Okay. I'm gonna do the chicken piccata, and then Kobe's gonna get lasagna. You like the lasagna, right?
Yeah, I think I can go with that.
Please.
Okay, you can have a go with.
She wants to do almost everything.
It's my first day meeting Emily, and considering the way Emily is treating Kobe, I think they have been living the American lifestyle because Emily is the boss. So I told Kobe to stand up as a man and start doing things the way they're supposed to be.
What do you want, Bella?
Kobe, you got from me. Honey,
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna have to freak out on you.
Yeah, it would be my pleasure to see them together, but I believe the key is just to teach the wife what she's supposed to do. You know, getting married to Kobe?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not married yet, but what I know, with African men, we need a whole lot of respect for my ladies. Yeah, so...
I give him respect.
Do you think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know he's from a family, right?
No.
Do you know if Kobe is supposed to be the apple, so he needs to sit with everyone and govern his people?
Okay.
You need to stay there with
What is he, like a prince? Wait, what are you saying?
Yes.
No, I'm not.
We're telling your
My dad.
What? Your dad is?
My dad is from the royal family.
I am so confused. Like, this is huge news. Like, do we have a castle in Cameroon? Like, what is going on? Exactly, Coben. So your dad's like a king, or is he
Not
a
a
prince?
king, like. Let me explain something to you. Like,
What?
Cameroon, like, there's 200 and something tribes, and all those tribes have like chiefdoms. They have chiefs.
Right.
Those people are all from the royal family.
You see yourself being a chief one day?
Nah,
Never.
I'm far away from that. So I choose my own path. You know.
I thought I knew Kobe pretty well, you know, until this secret came out, because I'm like, that's a big thing. Why wouldn't you tell me? I would have told you in the 2 years that we've been talking every day forever. Okay, so wait. We have no money and no kingdom to go rule.
Yeah, I have just me, myself. He was just citing an example.
I'm trying to make you understand that Kobe has a final say. You get married to an African, not an American, so the man is the head of the family, meaning he belongs to it.
I think there's a reason why you're not married.
Hearing temperature and more about where Kobe's come from has been very eye-opening because Kobe's never expressed this on this level.
Yeah, Emily's very much independent and strong-willed, so talking about the man being the king of the castle, that's not going to happen.
I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm starting to believe that this whole temperature storyline, it sounds a bit too familiar. It sounds a bit too familiar to come into America. You know. But let's be real. TLC be scripting things a lot of the time. And the more and more I listen to him talk about, I'm not saying the tribe thing isn't true, but it just felt like this guy was talking as if he was, you know what I mean, Prince of King. Semi. The servant. Man was, I mean, like, how can you tell someone that, yeah, you realize you're dealing with a prince? Why are you lying for? He's not. He separated himself. It's one of the worst examples ever, to be honest with you. But again, though, at the end of the day, though, I don't know how, I don't know why Temperature thought that his approach was going to work. I don't know how he thought that it was going to help his friend. But it definitely made things a whole lot worse for Kobe. And I actually don't know why Temperature was even in the episode. It's actually more disappointing that we didn't get to see him in the tell-all. I would have enjoyed seeing him in the tell-all, just come in just to talk nonsense for the sake of talking nonsense. Because everything that he says, again, is just nonsense. Because like I said before, the matter of fact is, though, we're in a situation where Kobe has to learn his woman. He's a different type of woman that he's used to. And he just needs to learn and then know how to obviously go about things accordingly. Having a friend like Temperature is just going to get you in mad trouble. And when I say trouble, I don't mean necessarily trouble with just Emily. I'm talking about even if he left Emily, any woman that he would get with in America, it's going south from them because you're dealing with someone that's telling you absolute worst advice ever. But anyway, oh my days. The more I think about it, it's actually a really pointless scene. But anyway, let's just let's continue.
English, please.
Yeah, so
Kobe comes down here all the time. This is his little kingdom.
yeah, let's go, man. Let me show you around. Yes, Tempe.
Oh boy.
So in our cabin, this. So it's where the magic happens.
I said that it's a nice place.
You like it? Do you like the house?
I like it, but I'm just hoping that my friend will like and get document first, and then so that you both can have your own home.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to like live where you don't have people to like communicate or like hang around with. So I think relocating to Columbus would be a good idea. We are talking about millions of Africans.
Columbus? We're not moving to Columbus.
Columbus would be a good place.
I am totally taken aback. Like, he's stepping out of line. He's not in this relationship. He's not marrying the guy. He doesn't have a kid on the way. So he doesn't need to sit here putting his 2 cents in to my fiance about moving to Ohio and being pretty intense about it. We have a lot going on right now, so we need to just stay close to family until, you know, a couple years.
It's like I'm just you're making decisions. Have you discussed that with Kobe already? Oh, you're just telling Kobe what you're going to do. And that does not sound right.
Before coming to America, I didn't really think I was going to miss, like my community, my circle, But temperature said a lot of things that made me to think a lot. That could, possibly change our future together, me and Emily. We need to talk about that again.
The fact that Kobe even tolerates anything that Temperature had to say or has to say just tells me how much of a weak person he is and such a fool he is. I mean, to be honest, when I looked at him on the tail, I was sitting there looking at him and thinking, does he look like a happy man to me? I was talking about how we haven't even had intercourse for months. But he said that was due to himself because he was nervous because of what? He's going to live a very miserable life. That is a fact. But hey, man, each is of their own. But let's continue with him and his friend talking the most. Yeah.
Right now, you're making decisions like telling what you want us to do.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, we'll probably stay here for 2 years.
Oh, did we discuss about that?
Okay, so wait, do you want to get your green card and your work permit and then just move to Columbus? Is that what you want?
I say
Is that what you want?
Yeah, I say that.
But I'm asking you.
Man, I'm just so tired of fighting all the time.
Remember, you're starting to be in a new environment.
Okay, wait, stop. You told him? Why would you do that?
What do you mean by why would I tell him? Like he's my friend.
Because you weren't supposed to tell anybody.
He's not just anybody, okay? He's my friend. I told you about him, so.
Kobe, you weren't supposed to tell anyone. It's so messed up.
That's okay. Kobe. Man.
I was very clear with Kobe that no one should know about the pregnancy. Like, him telling Temperature, it's making me really uneasy because that's a huge violation of our trust. And it's hard to marry somebody that I can't even trust them.
So we're here, man. Thanks so much for showing up, Let me walk you up. Okay. Oh my goodness. Take care, Master. Take care.
Mandem, if you got a friend at Temperature, please keep away from your girl. Keep them away from your girl. That's all I want to say. Oh.
There was like a search history for apartments in Ohio, like 1-bedroom apartments.
All right. So what's up with that?
Well, I'm not the one who searched it, so I was just like wondering why you were searching up 1-bedroom apartments. Like,
well,
really, like right before we get married.
In the first place, why did you even go into my apartment? But I mean, it's not really like I was searching. It was just like, I had a conversation with Temperature and then considering moving to Ohio, and he sends me this link.
But like, we're not moving to Ohio. We're not. I mean, I'm pregnant and we have COVID. I'm not really comfortable moving away from my family.
We are all in America.
We're not.
Talk about this later.
No, I don't. I want to resolve it really quick. It's just like, you haven't told me that. You never told me about Ohio before.
I was just going through the link Temperature sent
But
me.
why would Temperature send you a 1-bedroom apartment?
It's a link.
Like, Temperature wants you to move there. He never said he wanted like all of us to move there.
Come on. Honey, I want to move out here, but just know I'll never want to move without you guys. All right?
I know, but Temperature's working. Like, you can't even work yet. Like, we're not moving anywhere.
Honey.
Like, we're just not.
Okay. Like, you make a big deal out of nothing. Like, come on. Talking with Temperature and some of the advices he gave me was, there's a huge Cameroonian community over there in Ohio where they always come together. With the help of the friends that I have over there, they can easily help me to get a job. So I'm looking at the bigger picture to be able to provide for my family. But what bothers me is like, I feel like I'm sacrificing a lot because I have to let go almost every decision, everything that I want. I have to make it suit Emily. And it's really hard for me. This relationship will never work for me if I'm the only one making, compromises.
This is what Emily's dad has been trying to tell you, but on the discreet, on the low, without saying it directly. You dig what I'm saying? That when it comes to being in this family, being with my daughter, you're going to have to sacrifice everything to keep her happy. love is not going to be enough. This whole time we thought that the family was just going up against Kobe. No. Daddy was just trying to warn him, but without telling him directly. It's crazy though, because he says that if things don't change, then I don't know if I can stay in a relationship. Well, things didn't change and he stayed in a relationship. And Emily got what she wanted. That's it. But let's continue.
I just need some fresh air. In reality, I mean, this is a man from Cameroon who I met in China. We got pregnant and engaged very quickly. And, the last few days, talking about Ohio and bringing up, like, gender roles and cultural differences. I don't know, I'm questioning it all.
Are you okay?
I'm pretty overwhelmed. Like, you don't have any doubts about tomorrow? Like, is there anything that bothers you?
If I wasn't going to marry you, I wasn't ready enough to marry. I don't need 10 months. I don't need 90 days. Like, we were together in China. We separated and I still came back for you. That should mean a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it means a lot, but all these things are just coming out of the woodwork. And I'm like, where are they coming from? Like, knowing that deep down you want to move to Ohio? Like, I need to know these things. And I don't want to, like, find out a year after marrying you.
Like, what do you mean by you say finding more about me? Like, do you feel like I'm here because of a certain benefits or what? That's insulting. I've been waiting for a long time to get to this point. I've tried everything I can just to let her know that, okay, I'm yours and I love you and I want you. But, man, I'm not seeing myself taking the anymore. So, there's something I want you to know, right? I left everything back home in Cameroon to be here just so we can be happy together. I've left friend, family. I fought to be here. And you still doubt me?
Kobe?
Listen, how does that really happen? You're getting married to somebody you don't fully trust. Does that make sense? I don't know what to say right now, all right? I don't know what to say right now. If you can't trust me at the eve of our wedding, I cannot accept that.
Emily's last-ditch attempt to control the narrative. At the end of the day, that's all she was trying to do. Because at the end of the day, before Temperature came in, Emily was confident within the fact that she had Kobe where she needed him. Temperature comes in, shakes the room a little bit, ups up that temperature. She's thinking, damn, maybe I've lost the thumb that I had on Kobe, but she had him underneath that thumb. So now she was just trying to do that reverse psychology type nonsense to get him back on board to understand that she's in charge. So really and truly, this was all a narrative, controlling the narrative, getting some clarifications out there and also getting him to kind of doubt certain things. And to be fair with you, at first I was like, what you've done is just mad. But in the end, what she did worked out for her. I would say that she's a mastermind, but none of the things that she does would ever work on me. Kobe's just a weak man. Tell me otherwise. Argue yourself. It's all good. I mean, listen, that could have been his breaking moment where he said, you know what, F it. We'll just call it a wrap. The man stayed around. Anyway. Let's get into it.
We open a bottle of wine or anything?
I'm not going to have wine.
I don't want any. Do we have water out there?
Yeah.
You want to eat?
There's water on the table.
I can't wait for them to get out of the house, start their own life. They need to do that, and I'm very excited that that's going to happen soon.
Stew's good.
Bon appetit. So, how's married life treating you guys?
Yeah.
No second thoughts?
It's already too late.
Too late now. You're stuck now.
But he got all of his stuff for his green card to send in.
Oh, that's good.
Good. Let's get you employed.
Oh my. Actually, there's something that I want to tell you guys. So, I want to tell you guys. Emily's pregnant.
No.
Yeah. Are you serious? Oh, yeah. Kobe definitely wanted to tell you before. But I was like, no.
It's not been easy. We fought a lot.
We didn't want to tell you before the wedding because we want everyone to enjoy the wedding and not stress.
From the moment I found out, I'm like, I should tell him,
It's just sweet.
Oh God. Well, how far along are you, and what's the deal? I mean,
10 weeks.
Jesus. It was a shock. The best thing for them would have been to get established, you know.
We wanted them to be in their own home, and she knew that. The baby is just not coming at a great time.
Like, why did it even have to be a secret?
Because it's like the one thing they said not to do, and
Exactly.
we did it, which is like story of my life. So I was just like, no, let's just not tell them for a while.
I'm at a loss for words, honestly. I'm surprised that I didn't pick up on it. Like, I do want what's best for all of them, their whole family, especially Coben, and now the new baby. But I feel like Emily takes advantage of my parents and everything they have here. And she doesn't really realize the full effect of all of her actions sometimes.
Do you see all the disappointment on their faces?
Well, no, it's shock. It's just shock. It's shock.
It's just, we're surprised.
Seeing their reactions, like my fears of disappointing them are kind of coming true.
So my plans are retiring in about a year and a half. Kind of, that's not going to happen because you're not going to be able to work. You can't work. They need to get on their feet. I mean, we cannot support them forever, and we want to travel. We want to do some things, and I think Emily, she feels very secure here. I mean, maybe we've been too easy on them, you know.
You know, at some point, they need to move.
You got to sit down and just figure out how you're going to move out, where you're going to live, how you're going to afford 2 babies. Figure out how that's going to happen. Okay, I mean, yeah.
You know, they're just concerned. You know, we do have a lot of obstacles ahead, and we have Coben, and now we have a new baby.
We've been through a lot during these 90 days, so I don't think there is anything that is going to come across our way that we can handle. And I'm going to make sure that I'm the man that I told David that I am, and I'm going to be able to provide for my family.
This is a big deal.
Oh, no.
That's right.
Well, after everything that was said there, I have nothing else that I need to add because the season started off with don't have a kid. The season ended up with I'm pregnant. Crazy thing is, it all worked out in one person's favor, and that is Emily's favor. Crazy, right? But believable. Sad because Daddy thought that they were finally going to move out ASAP. Fast forward, we get the tell, and where are they? Still living in Mommy and Daddy's basement. Difference is, Kobe now has a job. Congratulations to him. But hey, you're still not the man of the house that you said he was going to be. Because, well, you're still living at Mommy and Daddy's home. And Emily is a stay-at-home mommy. Now, of course, I don't know how long he's been working, so I'll give him credit where credit's due. But hey, you guys let me know what you're thinking and we'll talk about it. But hey, man, it's been one hell of a freaking journey with Emily and Kobe. And I'll be honest with you, I think out of all the 3 couples that I've covered, I don't know how Bilal and Shaeeda got on to Happily Ever After. But 100%, if it was me personally, and I had to pick a couple from the season, I would have gone with Emily and Kobe. Why? Because I really wanted to see how things turned out with these two. How Emily continued to basically mop the floor with, what's his name again? With Kobe. Yeah. It's a shame we won't get to see them, right? Maybe we'll see them in 90 Day Diaries. But hey, again, it is what it is. Thank you so much for your time. Like, subscribe, and peace.